Hey, Hans here. In this video, I'm going to show how to use or how to install browser use web UI on a cloud computer or cloud server. And it's the same thing as OpenAI's operator or their computer use with the API version. And the reason why we want to do this is because we can then send API calls to web UI and have it control like this control your or not your computer, but then control the cloud computer and have it on 24/7. Just to be completely transparent here, browser use have actually created this service. So they actually offer an API where you can go in and send commands to their browser use service. But it is a bit expensive if you scale the operations. If you're just trying stuff out, just go for this. If you want to scale and have like use it more for production, then there is a reason to install this on your own cloud computer. So let's get to it. I would suggest, or this is what I'm using Elest.io or Elestio, and I'm just going to install a Ubuntu, if I can write Ubuntu server here, headless, select that. The standard setting is fine, 15 USD per month for a 2 CPU, 4 gigabyte RAM server. That is awesome. Do that. Name, okay, I'm just gonna say browser use web UI. Create service. While this is deploying, come on, I can say that I have gotten a deployment file created, which will be available in the link below that you can buy. I actually paid a developer 200 USD to create the deployment file, so I only need to add that deployment file to my web server and then run a simple command, and it will install everything that needs to be installed. So it will install Docker, set up Python. The firewall configuration does not work with Lest.io. You have to set the open the ports manually. Anyways, so let me see. This is installing now. Yep, awesome. So when we'll just go here. If you want to buy this, you'll then get access to the deployment sh file, the PDF guide, which is here in PDF form, and the make scenario, because we are also going to test it with a make scenario, meaning that you can send a request to a webhook, then you can trigger your browser use web UI, so the AI agent, browser agent. We then have a sleep command because we have to wait until it finishes the assignment, and then we get the information back from the AI. I used this for hard to scrape websites. So if you have a website or a category of websites that are near impossible to scrape, you can use browser uh, browser AI agents to scrape this information. And then we have like this small script here to trigger the web UI and then get the information back. See, did we actually get the information back? Use an AI to review what we got back. So this is now up and running. Gradio. We will need to go in and upload. You can see here, we need to upload our deployment .sh to our, we'll do it on root. And so we will go here, we will go to tools, I'll go to my file explorer and just copy this, paste, and that is on root. And we'll copy our password, paste that in, log in, and I think we're actually already on root. So my files here, and you can then see root. Let's upload a file, upload that. We now got our deploy.sh. Cool. Let me just see. There we go. Awesome. Now we need to go to our terminal. So we go here, terminal. And again, we can close our window there. Go to our terminal. We go to root. We go to password, copy that in, sign in. I want to save that. And now we'll just run our command here, copy that, paste that in here. And you can't just copy command V, you have to control shift V in order to paste in a terminal. click enter. Then we're gonna get asked where we want something to be done probably. Yeah, we'll just go /root. And there we go. This will take some time to install, but it's gonna download all the packages. It's gonna install Docker, it's gonna install update to Python, whatever it wants to do, and install the browser, use WebUI from the GitHub repository, and all that jazz. So I'll just pause the video while all this is happening. Awesome. Took around 5 minutes to install, but it should be up and running now. Let's just go to our firewall settings over in security. We need to show settings. We want to add a new rule, and we want to add, let's go to our neat little document here. We want to add 7788, 7788, save. And we want to add, what was the other one? 6080, 6080, save, apply changes. Great. Now you should be able to go here, overview, and find your IP address. Copy that, and then paste the IP, and we will go to port 7788. So 7788, and there we go. It is now loaded. I don't know if you can see it, but we can now load browser use. Maybe I can refresh this. It's because it's IP based. You can also, I can trick it by using this one here, and then 7788. Come on. Nope. Okay. It is up and running. 1 second. I'll see if I can pop this up. So I just changed recording software. Let's go here. And it was 7788. And there it is. Let's do the browser interface. So the actual web UI. You can test it from here now by setting your LLM parameters. So OpenAI, model, API key, browser settings, and so forth. So let me just go here, and find this one. So it is port 6080, and then -vnc.html /vnc.html, and then you have to connect, and then you have to set your password, which is your VNC password. Paste, sync credentials. Cool. That is now up and running. You can see browser ready. We can test this by creating a new OpenAI key. So test key, copy that. Let's go to our browser use, LLM settings here. Just paste that in, and our run agent. Go to Google, type scale by tech, click search, and give it the first URL, run agent. This should now open a new window, do all its stuff, go to Google, was it? Yeah. And then search. So you can see here, and it will see that it needs to accept all cookies, and then go and search and all that jazz, as a operator or computer browser user would do. That is fine. So the server is now up and running. The browser use web UI server is now up and running. It is working. Now we need to do the API thingy so we can call our system from make.com. At some point this will finish, and then it will give us like, yeah, errors. Go to Google, it creates a little GIF, a trace file, and you can see here final result, scalebytech.com. Awesome. Let's go here, browser. Nope, don't want to save. If you go here and down at the bottom, so down here, use via API. That is what we are looking for. We will open this up, and we will be using Bash because this is a curl or C URL, whatever you want to call it. At least that's what I've been doing in order to get this to work. So let's go to our little script here, and we are gonna do like this, unlink here, go there, unlink here, and you should know why I'm doing this. So here we are telling the objective, and it has to be JSON formatted, so you need a transform to JSON with all your instructions and stuff before you send it. Objective, scrape article from the given URL. So I created this workflow as a scrape article workflow to scrape hard to get articles. In the post, we will need to replace the IP up here with this IP here, copy. So I'm just gonna paste that in there, and then click save. I'm just gonna replace this IP as well, now that I'm here. Then we need to add our LLM API key. Of course, got that from here. Paste that in, click save, and let me just go down. We have some settings here. All these settings. If you go to browser use, under bash, you can scroll down, and then this won't tell you much. The instructions of what each row is doing is actually down here. But if you click on Python, you get the instructions with the code. So it's easier to look at the instruction on the Python and see what everything is doing. So you have a lot of settings here, which is agent type, LLM provider, so forth, temperature, all that good stuff. What is more important is, for example, maximum steps, maximum actions per step, the task itself, that is this one, the JSON file here, and also, where is it? Recording. So this one, enable recording. I always set this to false because I don't need the recordings. So under trace, you can go to trace. This is set to false. Great, let's do a test. So we're gonna send this to our post here. We have all the stuff set as we need. I'm gonna click run once. If we go into the status code 200, something was sent, and we get an event ID. We'll need that event ID to get the results back. If we go over to our VNC, it has now opened up the browser for and gone to that URL. It's then gonna try and scrape this whole article and return that in the actions done. So while this is doing its thing, you can also go over here at the metrics tab in ls.io and see your CPU load, memory load. If you're running a lot, I might say that you wanted to upgrade this to more RAM. But so go one step up. Anyways, let's go here. Let's connect some of this here. We then have a sleep module because we need the action to finish on the website. And I would probably say, like, this is a lot cheaper to use O4 Mini. Yeah, this node here will get the status and use the event ID. Then we take all that data from here, paste that in there, compose a string, and transform it into JSON. And we do a split, so we kind of pull out the information that we need, which is between event completed and agent brain done, or something like in between here. Then if it failed, like, this will be empty or null for this JSON here. If it's okay, like we got something back, it'll go to the AI. The AI will go in and review the output and say, did we actually get an article back from our scrape? And it will output this in a JSON format. No, it will just output yes or no. Then if it's no, I have some backend AI table here where we upload to a data sheet, and then we just like set the status to scrape fail, the same down here, scrape fail. But if it is successful, scrape done, it will pass along this node here. Let's see, this should be done. Awesome. We can then take our data event ID, copy that. Let's run only this module, get status event ID 200, and then we get all this data back, where you get like all the stuff that the agent did is in here. And if I copy this and then paste that in here, and then I take all this and I run this one only, we should get more or less the article here. So yeah, this is more or less the article that was on that page. And your instructions, of course, has to correspond with what you want it to do. We can go down here and see, let me take this one, Objective, find out how much Forex plane tickets from Aalborg, Denmark to Bangkok, Thailand costs. So let me pull that up here. This would probably save. Need more time to finish. So if I unlink here, say run once, the browser use instance here that we are running should now open up a tab and try to figure out how much does the flight ticket costs. I've been running this a few times, and it will, depending on where it goes, it will run into issues about captions for "Are you human?" Actually solved some of the human captions where it had to turn an arrow or something pointing in the right direction. It solved that on its own. So it can solve some captions by itself. But you can see it's now going in searching for flight tickets, Aalborg to Thailand in August, and then it's gonna find out what they're gonna cost and come back with a price. So yeah, you can now use browser agents through API by using this setup. Call the webhook, send the instructions to this webhook, then connect that in here, so you'll get something back from the webhook. You can then paste that in here and then send the request, have a sleep node, so we are sure that it is done. Actually, and when you call the status from the browser use, it will actually just wait for the task to complete until the response gets sent back to this node. But you will get no timeout if they are hanging too long. So please put in delay here and then do the get status. And the last thing to note is that you would need to add sequential processing to yes. If you import this script, it will already be set to sequential processing. The reason for that is that this is not can't run in parallel. Like, I don't think it can actually. I haven't tested if it can open multiple tabs and do multiple AIs at once. I just imagined that it couldn't. Anyways, this is the setup. If you want to get this, you can go here and buy, there's a link below, buy access to this to get the deployment, the guide, and the make script if you want that. If you don't want that and just found this to be a nice video, give it a like, and see you in the next video.